Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cinema Savvy. My name is Tate. I am joined today with no one. I am on my own for this review, and today I'm going to be reviewing Triangle of Sadness, our first film this year from the London Film Festival. So this year, London Film Festival is a little bit interesting. We're sadly not seeing as many films as we have done from previous years. That's down to just general life between myself and George. We found it really difficult to get up to London and see things for many reasons, including train strikes in the UK and stuff like that. But we're still looking forward to bringing you loads of content coming up from the festival. And this is one of the films that I've seen so far from this. So really looking forward to this review. If you have seen this film, and if you're watching along at home, please comment below and tell me your thoughts on the film. We'll have a conversation about it because I'm really intrigued to see what people think about this film. Because well, the critics are raving about it. Everyone's really, really excited. They had to put on an extra screening of this film just because of the amount of people who wanted to actually go see it. So please let us know your comments below. Don't forget to like as well on the video. And also, before we start and before I go into talking about the film a little bit further, please go follow us on our social media streams. That is Twitter and Instagram at cinema_savvy. Go find us on Facebook and letterboxd.com. Just type in Cinema Savvy and go into the link in the description and pick up a t-shirt, a jumper, whatever you want from our Redbubble page and help out the channel over there. Excellent. So let's talk a bit about Triangle of Sadness. Let's talk about London Film Festival in general as well. This year at London Film Festival, it's very interesting. There were a lot of films that we were predicting would be there at the festival, and those films don't seem to have materialized. Films, we're talking like Fabelmans, which we were really excited about because of our Spielberg retrospective we've been doing throughout the entire year, did not show up at the festival. A lot of the films as well from the festival that have been kind of being played don't have very long until their release date. And when watching this film, I was given the choice of watching Triangle of Sadness or watching Bros, which I've also heard fantastic things about. Triangle of Sadness is out towards the end of this month, and Bros is out next week. So my immediate thought was, well, we can go and get a review out for Bros coming up soon. If we wanted to. Triangle of Sadness it's a little bit further in the future, so let's get that one watched. Also, it was the winner of this year's Palme d'Or at Cannes, so there was a lot of excitement going around it. There was a lot of things coming into this film, which I was really looking forward to. Now, I haven't seen any of Ruben Östlund's work. I know that he's had films such as Force Majeure, which is on my list of films to watch. I know that they remade that into the film Downhill a few years ago. He was also won the Palme d'Or with his last film that he directed, which was The Square, which I've heard very good things about as well. So, acclaimed director. A lot of the actors in this film as well are unheard of, and it seems like a very good combination for this kind of film. I'll go into the synopsis before we go ahead. So, a cruise for the super rich sinks, thus leaving survivors, including a fashion model celebrity couple, trapped on an island. That's a very brief IMDb plot synopsis, and I find it very interesting. With this film, I'm going to give a semi-spoiler filled review. I'm not going to go fully into the spoilers of it, but what I'm going to say is, going into the film, if you've seen the trailers, you would know that they end up on the island. I would say that that's kind of a spoiler to where most of the film is going. This film is split into three very distinct parts. The first part being named Carl and Yaya, which is the two main characters of the story, played by Dickinson and Charlbi Dean. They are the supermodel couple. So they're both influencers, and it's both about their modeling life and their acting life, and basically how their relationship is completely superficial, and it's all based around the idea of, they get each other more likes on their social media because they're a couple. And that really puts tension on the fact that one of the characters is way more into the relationship than the other. That's a very interesting start to the film. The second part, which is the main part of the film, is the boat on the yacht. And this takes up a lot of runtime. actually. And if I'm going into my only real critique of the film, it would be that the pacing did seem to drag on a little bit. This film is 2.5 hours long, and you really do feel that 2.5 hour long runtime. And that's mainly because this boat section, it's I know a lot of people who I was speaking to afterwards said it was their favorite section. I personally preferred part 3 with the island to be, my favorite section. But as far as I was aware, like the runtime of this film does seem to drag on a little bit. If we're going into the actual kind of plot and the characters, I think it was fascinating. When they get onto the yacht, they are, as a couple, on the yacht because they're marketing for it. They get on because they're influencers, whereas everyone else on board, you have some people who sell weapons, you have some people who sell literal shit. It's like big industries, money-powered people who earned their way on there, and they're up against the backdrop of these people who just so happen to look pretty and look good as a couple, and that's why they're on there as well. There's a lot of interesting themes on here about class and about the super rich and being able to force people into situations, which is very interesting. We have some amazing kind of character performances by Woody Harrelson, who only comes in as the ship's captain for a very brief run in this film. I would also say that, especially on the island, I want to get her name right, but Dolly de Leon playing Abigail is absolutely fantastic when they get to the island. And same with Vicky Berlin playing Paula, who's fantastic throughout the entire film as well. This film is brilliant. I highly recommend this film. It's a dark, dark comedy that's a scathing kind of interesting critique on the super rich and superficialness. I just want to pull up some things that kind of the director was talking about and just things that happened on set as well. So according to the actors, Östlund took on average as many as 23 takes for each scene. That's a lot. That is an awful amount of scene takes for every single time. And this production was marred with COVID. So it was a 70-day shoot, which was spread across the span of start of 2020 all the way through to pretty much the end of 2020. And they had to pause production for some points, not because of COVID on set, but just because of, the pandemic breaking and stuff like that. So it was a difficult shoot to do. They managed to film 37% of the film before having to shut down the first time. And then after that, they kind of restarted production and tried to get things going again. So I'd say it's very, very interesting and difficult from that perspective to be able to get that through. Just some comments from Ruben Östlund himself. He says that he was looking for appearance as capital, beauty as currency, and a wild satire set against the world of fashion and the uber rich. And that's exactly what you get from this film. There's beautiful subtlety in the humor that goes throughout this entire film. It's not an absolute wrenching kind of laugh out loud film. It's a subtle smirk at the situations that the characters are placed in and how meaningless it is against the backdrop of the three areas of the film, that being the relationship at the start, the cruise, and then when they basically get stranded on a desert island. And then these super rich people have to survive using their wits, which they don't have. It's a brilliant kind of play on the film itself. And this film, the ending sticks with you very hard. I'm not going to kind of go into the details of the ending because obviously some people wouldn't have seen this film. But it's one where, out of all of the endings I've seen from the film festival so far, this one really sits with me and really gets me questioning what was going on towards the end. And that's the kind of film you're getting. You're getting a little bit of a mystery box there. You're getting exactly what it says on the tin, and you're getting all of that superficialness and just getting to laugh at kind of the super rich and how they see themselves and how the world actually sees them. It's a brilliant commentary. And if anyone is interested, they do actually mention what the Triangle of Sadness is. And I didn't know what this was beforehand, but apparently the Triangle of Sadness is this area on your forehead right here. That area right there apparently is the wrinkle when you kind of frown and stuff like that, that triangle, you can see it there on my head. Apparently that could be fixed by Botox in 15 minutes for a lot of money. And that's exactly what this film is all about. It's like, pay things off and then the problem will go away, or it's one way to solve the problem. And one of the lines that keeps on getting repeated in this film is, it's not about the money, whether it's referring to the relationship, whether it's referring to what goes on in the cruise, or even what happens on the island. I would highly recommend this. This was a great film from the film festival. Like I said, it was packed out that first screening. They completely there was too many critics wanting to see it, basically. So they had to put on a second screening, and I'm pretty sure that one was packed out as well. So it's been a very popular film for the festival, and that may have been because it won the Palme d'Or. It'd be very interesting to see if it goes up for any awards or anything like that. I know that with his previous projects with The Square, it was a foreign language film and therefore was kind of a shoo-in for the nomination of the best foreign language film at the Oscars. But with this film, it is completely in English. So it'd be very interesting to see, whether it's recognized as much against his previous films. I really enjoyed it. I want to go back through his catalogue now and watch films like The Square and Force Majeure, just because I really enjoy his directing style. I really enjoyed the character work they did here. And as far as the film's concerned, the only issue I had was with its pacing. If you're able to get over that, and if you're really in for the long run with this film, I think you'd really enjoy it, all the way from the cinematography through to the commentary, through to the acting, through to even the direction style and how it's framed and shot. It's very well put together and keeps you on edge throughout, which is interesting for a comedy to have that kind of thriller edge to it. So if I was going to kind of summarize my thoughts, I would highly recommend this film. I think it should do well come award season. We'll have to see, and we'll have to see what happens with all the other films from this film festival as well. I want to say it's out towards the end of October. I want to say the 28th. So if you're watching it in the UK, then you'll have the chance to go over and watch it. I think there was a limited release in the US as well already. So that is worth picking up if you're watching it from over there. If not, then, I think it's going to be coming. Is it a Kurtzon film? I think it might be going onto the Kurtzon collection online. So you'll be able to watch it online pretty soon. Because they'll probably be pushing for that level once the cinema run has finished. Anyway, please let me know your thoughts down below. This is quite a short review, just because I have no one to bounce off myself. But that's why we have the comment section, so you guys can comment along yourself and let us know exactly what you think of this film. Did you enjoy it? Did you find it very was there any parts which were controversial? I know for a fact that the dinner scene, if you don't like vomit and kind of the sounds of people vomiting, there is a solid 15 to 20 minutes of this film that is, that. So, not to put you off the film completely, but be prepared for that if you're going to watch it. And just once again, also, please follow us on all of our social media. So at cinema_savvy, Facebook.com and Letterboxd as well. Just type in Cinema Savvy and go to Redbubble in the description, pick up some merch and help out the channel. Thank you for that. Finally, some videos that are going to be coming up soon. So we have, as of today, our Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power review coming out tomorrow. Okay, so the series that has been built up and talked about probably the most online this year, we're going to have a chat about it. We're going to be talking about that tomorrow evening. So keep an eye out on all of our social media feeds to see when that is going to be coming out. We also have every single Wednesday spoiler discussions for Andor if you're into your Star Wars. It's been a very good series so far. I've really enjoyed all the episodes that have come up. So keep an eye out for that. Also, on Tuesday, the 18th of October, we will have our review of Bridge of Spies along with our Steven Spielberg retrospective. So I can't remember what film that is in a row, but that is getting towards the end. We're getting into more modern Steven Spielberg, so very interesting on that front. And finally, of course, stick around because we will have more London Film Festival films coming up soon that we're going to be reviewing. We can tell you now that on the cards that we're going to have reviews for coming up very soon will be The Whale, which I know people are very excited about, with Brendan Fraser's performance, Sadie Sink's performance, and Darren Aronofsky's direction. We also have Sam Mendes's new film Empire of Light, starring Olivia Colman, which people are very excited about as well. And hopefully as well, we'll be getting our review for Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, one of my most looking forward to films of this year. I am intrigued as to the mystery that is going to be put afoot this time, and I'm ready for some more Benoit Blanc. So very much looking forward to that. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Stick around if you've just found this channel and you just want to subscribe. And yeah, watch this film. It's fantastic. Thank you ever so much, and we'll see you on the next one.